Good morning, family. How you doing? This is Harper. Good morning. I stopped by to drop by to say good morning every morning. I think, or every time I get a chance, I'm going to come here and give kudos to us and content to us as ADOS community. It's very important, very very important. Before I start my day and get into business or whatever I got to do, or if I have time, this is what I do. So good morning to you guys and encouraging you guys this morning and following the content of everybody, saying thank you to my subscribers. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell button. There'll be content going from here, and there'll be a lot of talk and everything, so we can connect with each other and keep each other abrupt and keep each other warned and connect and everything in terms of community. Um, we have a new place to go. The way of doing business is changing. So we have a new place to go under our title and acronym that's important to us and the United States government. That's important to us in terms of business, community value, and in terms of policy. This is what's good for us. This is the more serious note of it. But at the grassroots, we love you guys. We want to send messages that you guys are welcome to be a community and to come forth and get content. This is something we need to do as a people and as a tribe to rectify us, and with no means of destroying anybody else, or no means of violence or anything like that. We are a sophisticated and prestigious group of people. We reflect. We want to reflect in good reflections, and we want to reflect in strength and in numbers and in love. And we really have to be in love with each other. We really do. And the interesting thing is, what we need to know is other groups and other people inside our system already have that. They already been remembered as people of respect and integrity in terms of their inheritance, their reparations, and everything else. This is us. We have been the only one estranged to community thus far. And now it's something different. It's a new day for us. And I'm thankful for that. This acronym, ADOS, is a very powerful acronym. And it's changing the way people do business and in transparent government, which is awesome. So it would change things. And probably along the way, it probably help other people. I mean, it's just that powerful. Anytime we set our hands to do something, usually a lot of other people actually benefit. I don't know how that happens, but the ingenuity of us and when we and our prestige and our due diligence in terms of usually help not only us, other groups, but we're more concerned about us right now, and we need to know that. And I want to let you guys know that I've been following all of us, and we need to keep in touch with each other. I've been following content. I like to piggyback because a united front is a united front, and that's what we need, a united front. We have been not able to really develop that throughout hardship and being denied something that's very important and tangible to us, and that's our laws and our policies and our economics and stuff and our monies and everything and our reparations. Of course, that's important. That's important, and that's what we have to do as a group. But we have to constantly fine tune each other so that we are centered around something that is enduring and to us and that is important to us. We have to do that for each other, and that's okay. Wherever there's meetings, we have to network. We're in the job market. We have to network. We have to see at each other because no one else would do that, and that's okay because other groups care about each other. I mean, there are places in our system that by law we have to respect each other on different grounds. But first and foremost, no one can do it like your own in terms of community, and that's where we are, and that's where we need to create our wealth inside ourselves, inside our system, and support each other in terms of our content, our dollar, and everything, as a community. And then we can look outside and do other things. But first, we need to recondition ourselves, and that's what we're doing. And I give kudos to Yvette Cornell again and Antonio Moore for ADOS, American DOS. There's a very beautiful place for us to be, a very sophisticated place, and it's a lot of integrity and prestige. And I give, recognition to those who are out there at the grassroots that I follow that are bringing their concerns and passion to our situation and our topic and, the agenda itself. And it's very needed and very understood. And I understand that because even myself has been enlightened that all kinds of other news stories is not so important once you need to know you need to recondition yourself and your family, so that you can be respected in terms of law, in terms of government, in terms of community. Just like, a family started in a household, right? So what we do is we pay all the bills, make sure the heat and everything, people can take warm baths and use lights and have food. That's the care and the due diligence of a family, of a household. And the care and due diligence of us right now is having meetings and sharing content, constantly caressing each other, because some people may not be sharpened enough and may have been sharpened to the wrong peak throughout the system and what it has done, and the manipulation and the conspiracy of theory in community with us. So other people that have been victims of that, which we all have on some level, that have got the worst of it, can come home. They can come to a place where they can be remembered and rectified in terms of self-sufficiency and community. And this is what this is. And I appreciate it. And everybody have their part. So I give recognition to all of us out there at the grassroots. You're welcome. And if you don't know about American DOS, look up ADOS, go to 101ados.com, and there's an agenda for you. If you don't know how to understand it, look for it, read it again, or get somebody to explain it to you. We have community. That's okay. Knowledge is power. Let's be entertained by what's relevant to us and what's relevant to our community. You see, it is relevant. Definitely has took a lot of relevance because there are people in high positions in terms of government and everything that are discussing our matters in terms of reparations and everything else. Those things we deserve. We deserve our inheritance. We deserve us as a people to be remembered for the things that we are and where we come from and what we do. And we have done a lot. And we have been, denied something and been abused, so to speak. But we reflect light and integrity right now and prestige. And a lot of people don't understand how is Black people doing this all of a sudden. Well, see, the tools has already been there for us. We just never really used them because we just kind of took down and just kind of went along with the program. But now we come to learn that it's basically dire if we don't, remember us and take pride and respect in our community in terms of business first and policy, and then at the grassroots of showing each other that we can assemble together and to groom one another, and don't forget the fellowship. And so this is at the grassroots, but the trainers took off. And we have to remember that we have to network with each other, whether we are overclass or underclass, high status. We have to remember each other because some people need to be educated in terms of their own expertise, in terms of their divine purpose. This is something that we have, regardless if we can sharpen ourselves above anybody else. That's just our gift. That's nothing that we've done wrong. We're not violent. We are sophisticated. Another word for being smart. And we have to sharpen each other and remember that, because there has been a huge perpetuation put on us in terms of government, in terms of a system, in terms of our community. And that's not going to continue to happen. It has put us in dire situation in terms of how we deal with police, in terms of how we deal with our homes, our families, our communities, because we have been estranged to community throughout all the debris of slave descendants, people who have been denied things that were supposed to be given to them, people who have been denied property and things like that that belong to them throughout generations. And so that's what put us in the place that we are in. But we have not lost necessarily prestige in our intellect. We just have to be able to expose it and exchanging it with one another so that we can be a united front. And that's what we intend to do. We are a united front. And I follow us, all of us, and I definitely support all of us, and I push likes on the videos and share content and respond and let people know, we talk and let people know what our points and values are as a community. This is business, and we create that in terms of us togetherness, and then we rectify. We definitely rectify in terms of government policy so that we can have a base to come to and something solid in terms of our dollar and the value of it, and how to be in business camaraderie with one another. Even in the job market, in IT and other places like that, where people can feel spots and locations where other groups have community we have been estranged to throughout the denial and benign and neglect, and not feeling important in terms of policy. This is something really serious. In terms of government policy, when you're held back something that belongs to you, that's very important to you, you kind of be in shambles in terms of how you're going to exchange with what's important, whether it's paying your bills, whether it's college and tuitions, whether it's how to go to school. It discourages you when you don't have the tools. You may have the know-how, you may have the passion, but not having the tools is something that ADOS has experienced. And we look at that on the economic baseboard and on the boards of things, and we see other groups have achieved this, with an importance of what they've had experienced in our first world nation and what's due to them. And that's what we're doing. We deserve and in very in deserving of our inheritance of who we are. And then we can share it with our group, and we can put things in perspective once we're able to have that substantial belonging. We can put it in perspective, and we can put idea of us and our talking points in this perspective as well, because now we're not dismantled in a place where something is less than. We can work together, and that's what we intend to do. And I'm not saying that we all are going to be just right in working together and not outside of us. Yes, because there's a world out there that we connect with, that we have constituents. We do. But first and foremost, we have to be important to each other. And that's why I appreciate us in this acronym. It has drawn us in. And that's what I appreciate. American DOS. We are Americans, and we are descendants of slavery, and we have suffered the debris of slavery. And that's denying things, that's redlining, that's our inheritance held up. Well, that's against the law. We don't need to be in that light continually. And this is what we're pressing and doing right now throughout our talking points and what's serious, and throughout laws and our prestige. So we're able to present something. And a lot of people don't understand that under this acronym, a lot of people that are relevant and in relevant places, like Charlemagne and whoever, if they don't do diligence on their expertise in the job they have or whatever, then they're not going to be even relevant. This is what they don't understand. I don't think they understand what they're up against. And I appreciate that. I appreciate who we are. And in terms of us being mishandled in business and government and education, it stops here. The train is taking off. So let's continue to caress each other. And good morning to you guys again, and show each other content, show each other love and care about. My thing today is I want to find a beautiful ADOS person, a Black person in the community that I can caress and love and talk to and shine with and share content with. And I start here, because that's what I do. I support us, and we need to support us. If anybody in the community, whatever your profession may be, bring it to the table as a tangible in community, so that we can see a developing in us in terms of business and prestige, because that's who we are. We are people of a lion people. And I appreciate a lot of people. I don't want to really call names, but you make me feel good this morning. I watched Morning Joe. Guys, follow him. He's a very direct person and a very thorough person inside the community. Intellectual presence is beautiful. Morning Joe, Mark Black. And I follow all people. I remember I started out doing commentary with around when B Miles started, and I love that brother. He's giving content, and he has a different approach, but we all have a special group, a special existence inside our group, whether it's an expertise or intellectual presence. And that's what we are here today. And I follow Phil in the Advice Show because he gives news stories that are serious about us. And, whether people being compensated for what they do or not is good. They're supposed to be compensated. That's what other groups do. Whatever they have is a passion, and a lot of times they turn it into an expertise. And it's even in our laws where you can study what's your passion in terms of college and make it a job. This is what other groups have done. And not only that, a lot of people haven't studied for it in terms of generational wealth. Like the scandal said, they were paying for Ivy League degrees. So that's something else. But they were paying to be in those spaces, and then they get affiliated with them, and they just reign success because they were having economic generational wealth that belongs to us or has not been rightfully exchanged upon in terms of government. And these are crimes that have been committed. So at the most important thing is that we understand we are a community first, and that we are people that should be in love with each other. And that's the most important thing, that we can shine light, beautiful light against each other. I love that. And we need that today. And I'm glad about it this morning. I'm really glad about it. And I'm going to continue to be here and continue to uplift us and continue to share content. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm Harper with Community First. I am here and we're developing and we're on the road of success. It's a new day. It's a new business. We're going to continue to expose the way of doing business can change under a united front. Okay? Under that. And so people need to understand if you are opposed to something that holds a value of this magnitude, you need to really know what you're doing because this is something great and serious and understood at the grassroots. It's understood in terms of business even, and it's definitely relevant. And it will make and pull light on what is irrelevant in terms of how it deal with us and our cause. I'm telling you right now. So a lot of people out there with that's Charlie Brown and don't understand what's going on, you need to recondition yourselves because that's exactly what we are doing as a community. We have been conditioned and we will not no longer allow it in terms of us being educated and understanding what's really going on. There's a crime being committed in terms of who we are as American DOS. And we are important to each other, and not only each other, we are important to this nation. Literally. And that's part of what we're saying in terms of our conversation and our justice claims. We are important, and we have been. We have been a great value to the United States government and to this community and other people's success due to our hard labor and dismantling, as a matter of fact. Slavery was something that was very serious, and chattel slavery introduced wealth to a nation and blood sacrifice on my part. Whereas though we suffered. And now other people have been compensated in terms of their suffering. And except for us, we have the only one been estranged to that. And that's very interesting, right? So that's not going to continue. But I love you guys and we care about each other. We got to stay strong for each other. Young men, I appreciate it. Me and my age, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep doing what we're doing and giving content to one another and being in prestigious environments and sharpening ourselves in terms of our sophistication, our prestige, our education, and being reflective and aware of what's important to us. Not all talking about news stories of Jesse Smollett and all of that kind of stuff. First, we have to sharpen what we are important with first, and then we can start doing other things, you know, and that's what's important. So I appreciate that, and we just have to keep coming together and sharing content. I will be at the inauguration for American DOS, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I'll be coming back with more content. Guys, I don't know if I said everything I want to say this morning, but I'm going to get my coffee, and I'm going to turn up soon enough. I remember having an ADOS cup with Joe, Morning Joe, and Mark Black. Thank you, sir. I don't know. You know, I just give you recognition. I was in your live feed. If you guys, you don't know who that is, follow him. He's a very, very intellectual, beautiful gentleman in the community. And follow each other. So subscribe to my channel. And if you have not, and hit the bell. I'm Community First. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. And we'll be back to discuss more matters and share content. Thank you so much.